Welcome to another video here on the Giant Take Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Josh, and in today's video, we have a lot of Giants news to cover. We did an episode of the Giant Take Podcast on the Brian Daboll press conference, our reactions. I think a little bit of a clip of that is here on the YouTube channel. So please go below, subscribe, drop a like on the video, and let's get into a bunch of stuff that has happened in the last day or so. First of all, the Giants have a new offensive line coach. I'm going to be looking to my right because that is where my phone is. That's where my notes is, and that's why I'm going to be doing so. Okay. Bobby Johnson is the new offensive line coach of the New York Giants. Who is Bobby Johnson? Well, the man has had experience in the NFL and in coaching college for a while now. The last 3 seasons, he was coaching the Buffalo Bills as their O-line coach. They actually had a rebuild starting 2 or 3 years ago, and he was part of all of that as they have become a strong unit protecting quarterback Josh Allen. Now, you would think just like Shane coming from the Bills as their assistant GM to the Giants GM, brought in Daboll, who was the offensive coordinator, now turned head coach. Same thing here. Keeping the same role with Bobby Johnson, Brian Daboll seemed to have brought over Bobby Johnson from the Buffalo Bills to keep the same role, just come to a new team. And so his connection is with Brian Daboll. And he worked in Indy under offensive line coach Dave DeGuglielmo. I believe I'm saying that right. And if you remember, DeGuglielmo came in for the New York Giants to take over their offensive line coaching position for a little bit of the second half of the season, about a year, two seasons ago now, I want to say. Daboll's former O-line coach in Miami and colleague in New England. That was DeGuglielmo. And then we have some other news regarding head coaching staff, the coaching staff of the New York Giants, and that is the Giants are expected to retain Thomas McGahee as their special teams coordinator. He's been with the team for a while now. I want to say four years at least, or at least 3 years. I know that for sure. He had some interviews for some other positions. I think a defense coordinator interview with another team, if I'm right, or another special teams interview at least. Obviously, did not go through. That was per Art Stapleton, so we'll have to see, wait on that. But hopefully everything's good because Thomas McGahee, pretty good special teams coordinator, nothing too crazy wrong there. Riley Dixon, though, I mean, just talking about players individually, I don't like him as a punter, haven't liked him since 2 seasons ago. Graham Gano, though, was a good signing at the time, and I'm happy about it, that he's still with this team. It's a good thing that he's still a part of this New York Giants team. And Thomas McGahee, whether he stays or, just in case if he doesn't, I just want to say if. But let's hope he stays and hopefully everything's good there. Let's give Bobby Johnson, I'll give you a little bit of let's see his resume. So we started out with Akron from 1995 to 1998 as a graduate assistant and defensive line coach. He then went to become Miami of Ohio from 1999 to 2004, their tight ends coach and offensive line coach. He was the offensive line coach at Indiana from 2005 to 2009. Went to the Bills for his first NFL gig from 2010 to 2011 as their assistant offensive line coach. He was the tight ends coach for the Jaguars in the 2012 season. Went on to the Lions as their tight ends coach and assistant offensive line coach in 2013 to 2014. Was with the Raiders as their tight ends coach from 2015 to 2017, and then was with the Colts as their assistant offensive line coach in 2018, and then with the Bills 2019 to 2021, and now is with the Giants. So, good things there. Our new O-line coach, hope that he has success here in New York and stays around for a little bit because we've had a lot of change the last 3 to 5 years at the O-line, head coach or coaching spot. Now moving on, Ken Dorsey, who was a favorite for the New York Giants offensive coordinator job, actually like an hour or so after Brian Daboll officially got the job as the New York Giants head coach, it came out, he's going to bring along Ken Dorsey, the assistant coach, and also I think it was the QB coach for the Buffalo Bills, to the New York Giants. And it was like kind of like a done deal. Everyone was like, that'll happen. Well, it's not going to happen, as the Buffalo Bills have hired Dorsey for their offensive coordinator position. We knew, per Bobby Thompson's reports, he's been pretty much spot on so far in this Giants offseason process with coaches and the GM, Joe Shane, things of that nature. His reports have been really good. He said that the Giants and the Bills were kind of in a boxing match to see who was going to get Dorsey. The Giants were offering him a good amount of money, and the Bills were just trying to keep him. They did, obviously. And I guess that, Josh Allen instead of Daniel Jones at quarterback probably came into play in his overall decision. Took the quarterback over the money is what it seems like here. So with Ken Dorsey sticking with the Bills, the expected finalist for the New York Giants offensive coordinator position is Pep Hamilton, Mike Kafka, and Chad O'Shea. Sources tell me, and at Rap Sheet, that was per Mike Garafolo, former New York Giants reporter. So I'm sure he's got some good sources there in the organization, and we know how reliable him and Ian Rappaport are. So let's get into these guys. Who is Pep Hamilton? I'll start with him. Well, Hamilton has over 20 years of coaching experience. He's currently the passing game coordinator and QB coach for the Houston Texans. He was the Colts offensive coordinator with Andrew Luck when the offense was successful there in the 2013-2014 seasons, I believe, were the top seasons where that Colts offense was pretty good with Andrew Luck under center. Number 2 here, who's Mike Kafka? Well, Mike Kafka is he was a former backup and practice squad quarterback in the NFL in the early 2000s. He then transitioned to becoming a coach in the NFL. He is now with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's their QB's coach and passing game coordinator. And since he's been with the team, we know how good Patrick Mahomes has been. Just to read a few, since he's been with the organization, this is Kafka since I want to say 2016 or 2017, Mahomes has been a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, NFL MVP, NFL Offensive Player of the Year, first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler. So you have to think that as the QB coach, Kafka had something to do with that progression and how good Patrick Mahomes has been for the Kansas City Chiefs since he's taken over for Alex Smith. Remembering when Alex Smith was on the Kansas City Chiefs, that's a while ago to think about. So on to the third and final candidate for this offensive coordinator position, Chad O'Shea. He has over 25 years of coaching experience. He was the Miami Dolphins offensive coordinator in 2019, was fired only after one season with the team, which actually put Brian Flores under question. Why would he fire him after 1 year? That's a little interesting. At least give him 2 years, but he didn't do so. Got fired after one season. And that's interesting now, too, because Brian Flores is suing the NFL and the New York Giants. I saw that before recording this video a few hours ago. That came out for, I think it was a form of racism, which is interesting. And he shared a few quotes from Bill Belichick texting him, and he said he's like, I respect the game, but the way that the Giants hired their coach was wrong or something of that nature. I don't know the specifics, so don't trust me on that. Look it up yourselves to find out what the Brian Flores situation there. But he is suing the NFL and the New York Giants. So that's a big deal. Going back to Chad O'Shea, he is currently the Cleveland Browns wide receivers coach and passing game coordinator. He coached alongside Kevin Stefanski, who's the Browns head coach right now, when he was with the Vikings. O'Shea was with the Vikings from 2006 to 2008, so they've known each other for a long time, I assume, probably friends. And after he was fired from the Dolphins, Stefanski picked him up, brought him to the Browns, which is where he is right now. So 3 interesting finalists. I'm happy about any one of them, and I think it would be a good addition to this New York Giants team. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching this video here on the Giant Take YouTube channel. Again, subscribe, drop a like, and we'll see you next time for another video. Peace.